Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me when I tell you and tell them like it is. Greetings and welcome to another version, another night, another Thursday. Hope you guys this week went well. I've had my good days and my bad days this week. Don't forget, I still have a heart condition, obviously. But welcome to the show. I appreciate everybody being here. I know that there's millions of streamers out there that you could be with right now. And I appreciate the fact that you're here with little old me. I'm DGddss, your hostess, or LDG for short. I like that monogram. I put it on everything nowadays. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. It's been quite a week on several fronts. And like I say, all I'm doing is trying to take it as easy as possible. First of all, can somebody update me on Tweak? I heard somebody mention it on Monday. I didn't get a chance to listen to 451, or was it on Wednesday? The days are going together too. What can I tell you? Lizzie Longtoe says, now let Laura do her show and don't call and talk the whole show away. That's actually the point of my show. I don't want to do the talking. That's so maybe you can call in. Anyways, Lizzie Longtoes, welcome to the show. 451 headed there today in case he gets released, last I heard. Okay. Headed where? Where? I've never been told where they're holding him. I don't even remember. Did they go to 451's house and arrest him? Because that's the last place I knew that he was at. So if so, that's pretty wild. So I've missed a lot of stuff being sick like I was. Oklahoma or some shit. Okay. Close enough, I guess. All right. I guess he'll let us know tomorrow, or is he gonna play tomorrow? Are they gonna do anything tomorrow? He might let us know tomorrow whether or not they can they got Tweak while they were out at a store. Wow, that sucks. Well, he was there, so he saw it. That sucks. Oh man. Wish I'd have heard the story about that, but I don't hang out on here as much as you all do. Maybe he can let us know tomorrow whether or not we can send him care packages and shit like that. Although probably it's just a situation where they just need money on their cards or some shit, right? No? Or anything like that. All right. 451. These are my plugs for the night real quick. I'm going to go over some really cool stuff with you, I hope, tonight. You guys are going to help me to test out different AIs, but I'll go over that in a minute. All right. Of course, like I said, the plugs 451 Actual with Kevin's Chaotic Coffee and Feisty Ace for the No Prisoners podcast, almost exclusively now on pilledandfoxhole.net. Kevin also has a short live feed, or he did. I haven't seen him lately. Pastor Chatelet with The Pond, and he is my main moderator. In fact, I do believe you are now a moderator on all three of my other channels other than YouTube's, the Boob Tubes, the Boob Ubes, whatever it is. Red Dawn Radio, or as I like to call him, Tyrone. The Drunken Rocky, which is on right after my show. Is it tonight? I didn't see a thing for it when I went to my favorites. I always check to see if mine pulls up on the following, the things that are coming up. But Drunken Rocky, somebody will be on after my show, if he's not. Raynoth, DJ Based, Tom over there at America Floats, Magical Trevor, some guy from Maine, Rougarou, not me being Town. Actually, I would show you the schedule, but it's not up right now. I'm getting a 504 gateway timeout, and it says it's a temporary error. I don't think it's me because I'm not having any other trouble. In fact, I haven't even had a reset yet. I hope I didn't jinx it. But everything else that I've got pulled up is working perfectly. There's no errors or anything like that. So if Town or any of them guys are listening, pureblood.tv is down. I can't get any of it up. I couldn't get the news site up. I couldn't get the interactive TV guide up. I couldn't get anything up. So I hope that that's not due to the fact that they weren't getting enough support. Not for lack of trying, of course, on everyone's part and my part too. Oomtown will be back tomorrow. Is that why it's down? He's taking a break. He's off somewhere. Let's see. Okay. Like I say, the site seems to be having trouble tonight. I've actually been trying to pull it up all afternoon. So, again, also, too, I hope we're not getting cyber attacked. That wouldn't be cool either. That wouldn't be cool. All right. Don't forget all the convenient ways to support my channel so I can keep the power of 1A going for everyone while improving the show as we go. My channel is completely supported by y'all. So thanks for all your support. Even if it's just sharing super chats on Rumble and on Odysee and Rumble Rants, Ko-Fi, which actually comes very highly recommended by Pastor Chatelet. It's also a way that you can pay for something if you see something you like on my merch site. I've actually noticed that if you're not a member of that merch site, you can't see what's on it. It doesn't cost anything, but I know another membership, another password or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that's actually moved me to start looking into making a website. I actually have a domain. I've had a domain for years. So I might actually start doing a website. But until then, you can go to my TDO site. Like I say, it's free to sign up. And it's just I was going to say, you don't even have to give them an address or any of that other stuff. Just an email and a name or something like that. But then you can actually chat on there. You can see all the artists on there. You can go see my new stuff. And you can support the channel. I wanted to do something different than t-shirts and all that other stuff. So, of course, I make my own stuff. And I actually have some finished works this week to show you as well. In fact, Pastor Chatelet is going to like this one. Odysee also has a monthly option. In case you want to tip me when you can't be around, but you want to make sure that I'm still here when you get back. All right, so this is the kind of stuff that you'll find in my shop. Also, my recycle art. So, anybody recognize this guy, this fella? What do you think? What do you think? I saw the GIF the other day on Pilled, which, by the way, I am proudly streaming on as well. Of course, the donations over there are coming in pills and candy and cookies and cans and things like that. So, yeah, they really know how to party over there. So, no tip too small to keep 1A and the show improving. So, there's one finished product. I make these. This is called, if you can see the stitches and everything, this is called amigurumi. And I actually love making toys and doohickeys and everything like that with the yarn. And I got I'm actually using a lot of supplies that I was gifted or that I inherited. He's trying to jump away from me already. He wants to come home with somebody. So, and I made I actually tested a pattern for one of my colleagues or one of my peers over here on TDO. It's not Temu, TDO. In fact, it's TEDOOO. If you pull it up with just 2 O's, it comes up as a website that's not secure or some shit like that or whatever. So, little floppy-eared bunny. I've got pins for the eyes for now. They always tell you to use the little plastic safety eyes, but there's nothing safe about them if you want to give this to anybody under 3. So I always make my own eyes and either embroider them on. So stuff you can't pull off. That's what's good. And that's another good thing about this stuff. The yarn and everything is really strong and durable. For babies, for everybody, for anybody. You can use them for decorations or toys. So, let's see. I got sauce if you need. All right. You guys are just determined to pull me down into this vortex of whatever the fuck you guys are doing, aren't you? Okay, whatever, man. Hey, I have a free speech platform, but I'm not going to tolerate harassment, okay? In fact, that comes from one of the people that I feel has been harassing me lately, just because of the phone call I got last week. But if we have to sort it out, we'll have to sort it out. I've been praying about it, and I've got some answers to give to. You know me, I'm not behind any closed doors, and I don't put up with shit. Do no harm, but take no shit. All right. All right. So, oh, I was going to show you. Let's see. That's me in the corner. That's my shop. I try to add the extra things every Friday or whatever like that, but I also do the recycle art. You know, all kinds of goodies. And I adore custom orders. So if you come up with something, all right, let me go through my, let's see. All right, showed you Pepe. Going through my notes here. Like I say, I've had a couple of bad days this week health wise, and my brain feels like it's splitting in half, intelligence wise. So, and if I don't write shit down, I'm actually wondering if this thing didn't give me a stroke, because there's sometimes now that I just can't remember shit. So, okay, showed you my new work. Stay tuned, check back. Email me. They only let me put PayPal on here, but if you email me or catch me on one of my platforms that I'm always on or whatever like that, let me know something. I'll give you links, or you can use any of the links below. Just let me know what you want and to give me a good address. And once the payment clears, which usually is never very slow, I'll get it to you. All right. So, Pastor Shadley. Oh, you're hitting Gab posts. Okay. All right. Because actually, Cy did that. He bought the little teddy bear with the blue eyes, and he paid me on Ko-Fi. So, it was cool. I can use any of them. And of course, if you want to go old school to support the channel, you can send me goodies. I love glasses. No more than 1.75s, though. Because I have a P.O. box. That's if you trust the USPS these days. So keep sharing the show, letting folks know that they can call in and exercise their First Amendment rights. That is the whole purpose of my show, because we should never just shut our mouths voluntarily, especially now. And after all the events happening all the time now, it seems, it's even more important than ever to never surrender and never shut up. Even the left is starting to do this, thankfully, but here we go. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines right now. And I do have a question of the day. This is just like any other show. All right. Of course, I've got to check the settings. They always love to change the settings on me. And you know what? It's really weird. Even though I turn this damn thing off sometimes, it'll be on when I come back in the morning or something like that. Now, I don't know if it's because of my health problems that my brain is going, and I thought maybe I had turned it off and I just restarted it or whatever like that. But for some reason, this thing absolutely loves to change my settings on my Skype, if nothing else. Okay, right, correct microphone, correct speakers. All right. Okay, everything is a go. All right. I do love doing this show on Thursdays. I picked the right day for this show because something always breaks on Thursdays. Sometimes it's just in time before I go live to you fine folks. So the question today is, and this is something I've had a little bit of experience with, and I'll tell you about it. Why do you think the two main candidates for president this year went to the border on the same day? How did that work? All right. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing before I go into that. Is it, what did I have it? No, okay. That's coming up next. Coming up next. I just have them in the wrong order here. All right. And now I don't know if this is the reason, but I kind of had an experience like this before I told you. Oh, shit. I was going to go through the chats. I'm sorry. See what I mean about my brain? All right. Let me make sure I'm recognizing everyone here. Like I said before, you got millions of people you could be watching right now, but y'all here with little old me, and I appreciate it. We got Ebtide, Badass Brad Allen, Cy, I'm on Odysee, starting on Odysee. And of course, Lizzie Longtoes, I acknowledged you earlier. Welcome to Lizzie and her mama and grandma and everyone else. Thank you for being here. Drunken Rocky, you are playing tonight, right? I didn't see your pop-up this afternoon. Uptide. I said that already. And of course, we love our lurkers. Yeah, you like Pepe? Pastor Chatelet, of course, my main moderator. Space Pirate of On. Yar! I'm your ninja! Welcome to the show. I haven't seen you in a couple of times. Yar. Okay. Alright. Yell at me if I miss ya. Mr. Tizo. Okay. I don't see anybody over on YouTube. That's normal. We got the Drunken Rocky. Markalan 067 on Rumble. He's new over there for me. Well, it's fun. It's a fine seahorse, and I've taken a shine to it. You want the little seahorse? Okay. Mark wants the little seahorse. This is Bubbles. He's available. Like I say, if you can't go over to T-Do, just email me. My email is scrolling underneath me here. Let me know what you want, and I'll send you links to pay for it. You can do whatever your choices, everything like that. Or you can buy it through Temu. That's great too. That would be great too. Wish I could see them having a hard time yet. See what? What are you seeing? Oh, my little cuties. Okay. Gargle Snot, welcome. Limited access, Salty Zipper Tits over here on Rumble. Lizzie Longtoes is over there too. Pastor Chatelet. Of course, there's a few people I didn't realize I could do this before. I'm learning every day. I'm not a boomer. I just have to learn this stuff. I can't learn this stuff by osmosis, okay? I do look around sometimes, but yes, I added some moderators to my live chats over here on Rumble. Not that I've been having any trouble, but I don't want to have any trouble either. And of course over here on Pilled/Foxhole, Ebtide, Pastor Chatelet, Mr. Tizo, Sigh. Put the fucking lotion in the basket. I don't use lotion. Believe it or not, my husband makes a tincture for me from castor oil and liquid coconut oil, and that's what I use for moisturizer. Actually, outside moisturizer, maybe I did have a stroke. My tongue doesn't want to work. Outside moisturizer doesn't do you any good unless you're properly hydrated. That's what I found out. Where's Kissy and BB? I have some lips. Yeah, I'm trying to make a little bit of everything. This is what the girls look like after they get those lip fillers. Okay. All right, so what do you think the reason is that the our two presidential candidates went to Texas and went to the border at the very exact same time? Now, you know it wasn't for them to have any kind of a debate or anything like that, but this is what I'm thinking. And this is, I'm sure this might have been how it happened, unless of course they're all fugabooing us and all of them are in cahoots. Just one of them takes the shot and the other one gets the uprising just because that's the way it is, but they're all working towards the same goal. You know, they could be fugabooing us for that, just to make it look like this is what's going on. Zom, welcome. Biden found out that Trump was going. Okay, was that it? Because, like I say, I've actually had a little bit of experience with this. My brother at one time, I think it was 2012, he was running for some Senate seat here against Rick Perry. I think, no, whatever it was. Whatever Rick Perry was here in Texas. My brother was running against him back then. And there were actually several people that were running against him. There was like 3 or 4 different candidates. In fact, I worked his campaign. I did a lot of the sound and everything like that for the debates. We handled a lot of the sound and the AV for the debates and things like that. And I wanted to help my brother out, and I came up with an idea that I'd never seen any politician do before. But I actually at the time was into doing flea marketing. I was getting rid of a lot of stuff. We had a lot of older relatives that had just died, and my parents had accumulated a heap, I mean, a warehouse full of stuff that we went to the flea market, made some extra cash, did things like that, and I was doing my jewelry and stuff like that, trying to see if it was worth doing the art fairs and crafts fairs. It's not really, unless you absolutely love it and got to be outdoors and do all it, because it's really hard work. Anyway, I bought him a slot over at the flea market. It was a little bit more of an upscale flea market. I mean, I was selling some antiques and things like that from the family and stuff. So, and it was a more well-known one. So I bought him a slot so he could campaign out there. And lo and behold, when we got there, or right after we got there, one of his competitors was there. And he had managed to get himself a slot a little bit closer to the entrance, too. I wonder how much extra he paid for that. But yeah, lo and behold, his competition was there, too. And they didn't debate or anything like that. But his competition would literally follow the customers around the bend almost to talk to them and stuff like that. In fact, he even stopped me and I was like, Told him, I said, you don't know who I am? And the thing is, I'm sure he had seen me at least 3 or 4 times. Like I said, I did all the AV work. We did all the setups, and I was always either behind the camera or whatever like that. Mr. Tizo. All right, thank you. He gifted, excuse me, over here on Pilled, he tipped me a can. Over here on Pilled, thank you so much.
Hey, look, green paper.
Green paper.
Appreciate that. One of the ways to keep the channel going. I said you can click the gear next to Pastor's name in chat and make him a mod. You talking about on Pilled there? It looks like, yeah, okay. Is that necessary at the moment? Well, I'll do it anyway. He's my main moderator, so make mod. Let them know to refresh. Okay, you can refresh now, Pastor Chatelet. All right, get rid of that. Oh, tight. Okay, yeah, I got to move that around sometimes. Okay. So I think that's it. And since Zom actually sounds like he confirmed it, that Biden found out Trump was going down there, and it's like, well, we got to go the same day. Although I'm sure it wasn't Biden's idea. But this is the way that they work. This is actually the way that they work. And actually, if they can get to the people first, like I say, it's not a debate. It's almost like a competition if one of them can get to the people first. Although they went to separate places. But look at the difference here. I mean, you can now put these two side by side because they both went the same place the same day. Watch this. Biden looks like he's in a funeral procession. Who are you saluting, dude? I don't see one person in uniform. Yeah, man. He's gone. He's gone. I was going to say, there's a lot of people now that have actually had a lot of experience with the dementia and the, probably, he might even have Parkinson's. But I had a girlfriend, a very, very good singer, who was a very good friend of mine for a long time, that she got she got the dementia and everything like that. And that's exactly how she walked around, like a little robot, trying real hard to take little steps. Sometimes she would, it was sad to watch. It really was hard. And it was hard to watch too, because we all loved her dearly. And sometimes she would want to come out, and she'd come out and see us and things like that and want to sing and thing. And she'd come out with the craziest stories and stuff. Just, okay. She told us she saw different things, so it was crazy. Let's see. Mark Allen says, okay, I'm terrible at reading these things when they're all together. Corn pops following Trump around. I think it's that Biden caught wind that Trump was going, so Biden had to do something in return. Of course, Biden wasn't in Eagle Pass talking about Trump was. Yeah, right, he's not. Talking with Abbott. Brownsville isn't even a border crossing hotspot. Biden just went there to have lunch with fellow Democrats for the benefit of the MSM. Completely pointless trip. Yeah, Gargle Snot. I've actually heard from several people today that he went for a photo op. Which is funny because they didn't seem to take a whole lot of pictures of him. I saw way more pictures of Trump and videos of Trump In fact, so if this border thing is anything like what I just explained with what happened with my brother and everything like that, then I get it. But by looking at this side to side, we all know who the winner of this race to the border was. Was it ever any question, even if Biden didn't show up? Hell, I even saw a video of Trump supposedly waving to the Mexicans on the other side. Watch this. I can't tell if they're waving back. They look like they might be military. Oh, they're yelling at him. Trump, Trump. How about that?
They like Trump. Can you believe it? They like the government.
Yep, they like Trump. They like Trump. So, all right. I know Pastor Chatelet is on all three of my channels here, so I got something else to show you. I got a free Bible this week. I went to a new meat restaurant, and I do mean meat restaurant, this week. I put it this way, they even have barbecue brisket pizza. All right? Texas, honey. Texas! We went there on someone else's suggestion. It turns out they're affiliated with one of the churches out here. So they had free Bibles sitting on the counter, which was very nice. Turns out it's actually affiliated with one of the churches here. It doesn't say which one, though. But it's a Christian Standard Bible. And to be honest with you, it's not like anything I've ever seen before when it comes to Bibles. I'm used to the rice paper. This is newsprint paper. It's 5 or 6 times thicker than the rice paper. Okay, and I don't remember a Zephaniah book in the Bible. Of course, it's been since I was 13 years old that I memorized the 66 books of the Bible. I ordered 25 copies of the Gospel of John. Why? Just one? Just one gospel? So Zephaniah. I do not remember a book called Zephaniah. But I kind of just opened it up to different spots and everything just to see what it was like. The word of the Lord that came to Zephaniah, son of Cushi, son of Gedaliah, son of Amariah, son of Hezekiah. They've got it hyphenated. So, in the days of Josiah, son of Ammon, king of Judah, the great day of the Lord, I will completely sweep everything away from the face of the earth. This is the Lord's declaration. I will sweep away people and animals. I will sweep away the birds of the sky and the fish of the sea, and the ruins along with the wicked. I will cut off mankind from the face of the earth. This is the Lord's declaration. Wow. Almost sounds like the book of Revelation. And then I opened it again. Like I say, I was just opening it randomly just to read the different things, and it keeps coming to these things. I don't know if this is fate or whatever it is, but Psalms 37:5. I'm not real sure. 36:5. 35:5. Let them be like chaff in the wind. Oh, wait. Excuse me. Let those who intend to take my life be disgraced and humiliated. Let those who plan to harm me be turned back and ashamed. Let them be like chaff in the wind, with the angel of the Lord driving them away. Let their way be dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. And they hid their net for me without cause. They dug a pit for me without cause. Let ruin come on him unexpectedly, and let that net that he hid ensnare him. Let him fall into it, to his ruin. So, yeah, interesting. Is that actually a Bible that is, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. Official? Is that official? Is that an official? Chaff in the wind causes climate change. If you live in the northern states and work outside, you have to get a Milwaukee heated jacket. This is just the shit. Oh, not one of those bear skins or whatever. Let's see. That's because the kitty cream doesn't wash off, very sticky. What are you talking about? Nobody wants to shake Biden's dirty hand. Okay. Fucking epic. Welcome to the show. I'm Sergeant Tripod. Welcome to the show. Battery powered, huh? Okay, so, I was going to say, Feisty Ace. Welcome. God's interesting like that. Yeah, like I say, the free Bible. I got excited about the free Bible. I don't know why. I guess free Bible, you know. Cyborg. Thank you so very much for the donation over there on Pilled. You get one of these.
Hey, look, green paper. Green paper.
Appreciate that. Mark Allen says that's gold. I don't see the big deal. Biden takes a trip to Brownsville every day in his pants. That's great. And it was on my show. That's hilarious. That's great. Oh, let me make sure I'm not. Hello, backwoodsman. Over there on Pilled. Thank you. My she says that's amazing. You talking about my Pepe? Actually, I kind of made him up. I had some patterns for frogs, but none of them had his face. So I got a pattern, but then I had to kind of make up some of the other stuff for it too, like the two humps on the top and everything like that. So he's actually a conglomeration of several patterns that I put together and made him like he is. So, and I know you guys will be interested in him. Somebody will be interested in him. So thank you. Ebb Tide, let's see. Making sure. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. I'm now literally watching 3 chats. So hello, American Dream. Welcome to the show. All right. So I got myself a new Bible, a new free Bible at a meat restaurant, which I actually highly recommend, but I'm not going to tell you where it is unless you come here. I'll take you to it. Because if I tell you where it is, you'll know where I live. I don't know. All right. So is Christian standard though something that's viable though, Pastor Chatelet? Is it official? Is it an official Bible? Should I stick with King James and all of that? All right. Don't forget, phone lines are open. Question of the day: why do you think Trump and Biden are down at the board at the same time? Call me. All right. Pastor Shadley says Christian standard is okay. All right, you guys, another little thing or two to talk about real quick before I go into the rest of the show. As you know, I told you last week, my gospel singing group has pretty much broken up due to all of our health problems. And I've been asking you guys what you'd like to see me do more of. So far, the consensus has been, or the most requests that I've gotten, is to hear me sing. Really? Okay. Actually, I've got a few ideas, and I've been doing some brainstorming, i.e. praying about it, of course. Some stuff to see what I can do about that. I've got a few ideas I'm brainstorming. However, I'm still going to take suggestions. I like to be... I like variety. Variety is the spice of life. There's, that's probably why I don't get anything done most of the time, because I have so many interests and do so many things all at once, and got so many projects done. But of course, like I say, I'm still taking suggestions and ideas. What would you like to see me do? Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoy the rants and on some of the stuff that we all do. I absolutely love it. And it's okay. But like some folks are saying now, if we don't do anything other than rant and not try to just take over the culture by actually doing things that are of a better culture and showing people that there's other ways than the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, which... Oh, that's right. He wanted me to make sandwiches. I actually made some candy. I've took some pictures and I'm working on a video of I made some candy. You guys will like that too. But I'll make some sandwiches too, I promise. I just got to have the gumption and the strength and the stamina. But like I say, if we don't just if we don't take over the culture and do other things, we just rant about this stuff, nothing's ever going to change. So, I'd ask if you'd want another call-in talk show, but I don't know if I'm going to continue doing that after this year, after the lease runs out on the phone this year. We'll see what happens. Again, that's one of those things that I'll see what's happening. God always leads the way on these things, and if it's not to be, he'll make sure that I know. But do you want to watch me make stuff like that? Or like have just a show where I talk about some, green things in general while I'm crocheting or making something. Perhaps you'd like to see me review things, places, movies, videos, like blind reacts. Maybe I can do some blind reacts or something like that. Let's see. Because I know also too myself, like I say, I've been given the time now. I consider this gospel sing breakup thing a closed door, but means to an open window, and that's the way that always works anyway. So let me know what you think. I still will be praying over it for the guidance to make what it is. That needs to be in service of Christ, of course, but I also want to make you guys happy too. You guys gotta, you guys are the ones who are gonna have to watch it. So, and I couldn't do any of this without you guys as well, and I wouldn't want to. All right. On to the next announcement. I announced this last week, but I'm going to announce it until it happens. The big day. Finally, our sons of Headspill have done recording, mixing, and the new metal that you guys have been waiting for is coming up on March the 8th. We'll be streaming everywhere. I know most of you guys have them saved on your Spotify, but this is what you can look forward to. Crank it up! So I'm looking forward to that. Don't be on the lookout for that. I'm actually hoping that I can get with 451 on that day. That's actually a Friday. We'll do some BDE and feature them. If not, I'll do my own live show and feature them. I've heard a few clips. I heard a few clips the last time I went out and visit them. But most of the songs were still being mixed. So I'll be as surprised as you guys are when it comes to this. I can't wait. Like I say, I'm so proud of our boys. Let's see. Yeah, 451 Actuals channel. We shall see. He said we could, but you never know. Never know what the fates will allow. Let's see. Don't you sing. Do vids of that. Yes, Gargle Snot. That's exactly right. That's actually, like I say, through taking a poll from the different suggestions that I've had, that's actually been the most requested thing for me to do. I am working on it, and I guess I have actually gotten a few answers as to what I should do. Hope you like it. Lizzie Longso says, we would watch you do anything, LOL. Okay. You like the unicorn and the little rainbow bear, Lizzie Longtoes? Yeah. The unicorn was one of my first big projects, and I don't follow the rules. I don't and I'm this way with recipes too. I don't follow the patterns exactly like they tell me. No, stupid people. I don't follow the patterns exactly like they tell me though. The hair on this one was just supposed to be just plain yarn. The mane and tail was supposed to be plain yarn, but I thought, nah, let's put some fuzz in it. Let's make her a what is that? A Pantene girl. Woo! And this teddy bear was my first one ever. I've got a lot of this yarn left. Camouflage. I got a lot of it left because that one's actually kind of hard to work with. The chenille breaks real easy if you're not careful. Thank you, Lizzie Longtoes. I love all of you guys, too. I do appreciate you being here. All right. So, again, I'm anxious for our kids' music. And that'll come up on March the 8th. Don't forget that. Okay, on with the show. I try to stay with the title unless someone calls in and starts talking about anything else. It doesn't matter. You can call. The phone lines are open.
Call me.
The unicorn looks like George Clinton. That's great. Actually, didn't he get his hair cut off? Doesn't he like have a high time now or something like that? Sexy thumbnail. Bobby Digital, Salty Matt Jameson, thank you for being here. Yes, I do sing. I sing a lot. That's actually my profession. All right, making sure I'm not losing anybody on the chats here. All right. As we've seen of late, and from my lived experience, as if there's anything else, I'm still trying to figure that out. Is there any other experience you can have that you didn't live through? I don't think dreams count there either, so. The world wants to know what you have to say. Oh, thank you, Pastor Satellite. Appreciate that. Share. I forgot to X myself out again today, too. Anyway, the AI is fairly useless to me, but I don't think it's meant to be useful. From the things that I've been seeing and hearing lately, not to mention the help that I've needed with my music and stuff like that, regards to music that I've needed. In fact, it should just be a matter of, like, if I want the lyrics and they're not already online somewhere, it should be a matter of being able to do the dictation. But I can't even get that to work most of the time. Let's see. So I think it's meant, or it's being programmed to actually indoctrinate those who have no general knowledge of anything, especially in the future when people like us that won't be here to debunk that stuff are doing this. I know. Tim Pool. I'm going to talk about Tim Pool again. But look, he does actually have his finger, or at least is observing of the latest and trends. And I do admire him for trying to change culture and build an alternative to the mainstream. I also admire his success, and I noticed that now even he has a call-in session on his paywall show. So my idea actually is getting out there, even if no one calls me half the time. But when I saw him doing the same thing, I plan on doing with you guys tonight, live. I'll just show you. And supposed the latest, greatest version of that AI just flat out lied about him and about the folks that he's had on his show and just a whole bunch of other stuff. You gotta wonder. And had Tim not looked at himself and debunked what was said about him, most folks wouldn't know what they just read was untrue. Imagine in the future, like I said before, in the future, when we're not going to be here to debunk any of that stuff that comes up randomly by this AI. I hate that name for it. Hey, Muko, welcome to the show. Super Trucker! But yeah, when there's not going to be anybody to debunk that stuff. Greetings, you're on the air.
All right, can you hear me?
I can.
Great. Now, this is Mark. I was over there on YouTube, Mark Placker or whatever.
Hey, Mark.
A couple of times.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah. No, I was fascinated by, you said you sing.
I do.
What? Forgive me, I'm ignorant. What kind of music do you like? What is your?
Well, I like all kinds of music. I was raised with all different kinds of music. But to make the money that I make, I pretty much do the 80s and the standard cover tunes that everybody hears on the radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Salty old fart, welcome to the show. So classic rock, yacht rock, stuff like that. Older stuff, a lot of the older stuff. I can't do any of the newer stuff. I'm not a rapper.
No, I love, I get made fun of a lot. I love like classic old, country, especially, which is not everyone's cup of tea. Or I like, I've got a buddy of mine who loves classic rock, man. He's an expert on that, I kind of fell in that department. I'm like, but good old school music, the good stuff, And I was just curious. You said you sang, and are you going to do a video of yourself? Are you going to be doing some singing?
Oh, I actually have several videos out there. In fact, there's a you can go to Rumble. Doesn't anybody have those links? I don't have those links handy, but I've got a link. I've got a link on. Actually, I'm all over the internet. You just have to look for me. ldghwih is everywhere, really.
Like I said, I'm ignorant of it.
Oh,
you know
okay.
What I mean?
I'm on YouTube for some of my older stuff when I started back in '97. And I've put some stuff on Rumble under, I think it's On the Double, which is the name of my band at this time.
On the Double?
On the Double. Okay. Yeah, it's actually, my husband and I are now a duet, or a duo.
Cool.
We don't have to
so your
pay
husband
computers
sings too.
And everybody else. Huh?
So your husband sings too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In fact, I think he sings better than I do, but he'd rather play guitar.
Wow. When he plays it. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, actually, really cool, he's pretty awesome. He plays guitar, he plays bass, he plays drums. He can pick on the piano or the keyboard.
Ooh.
I forget. There's another thing he plays too. I forget what it was. But yeah, he can pretty much. He's one of those people that has that gift where he can hear a song once and usually pick it out and play it. He doesn't
that
like
is
read
a gift.
he doesn't like read music or anything like that.
Wow.
But he also
I play a mean triangle.
Really? Does he bite if you're not careful?
Yeah, I tore it up on the tambourine the other night.
There you go.
Yeah, you should have seen it. Now, well, not heard it, but seen it. No, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Like about your husband, that he. Did you guys meet like in a band situation?
Yes.
May I ask? Okay.
Yeah, we did actually. About, yeah, back in '87. He actually taught me everything I know about running the soundboard and running all the equipment and stuff.
Awesome.
I basically learned from the ground up as best as I could. That's the reason why I was able to take over and do what I'm doing now. I do it all now.
That's fantastic. Now, well, I'm sure everyone, it's like you mentioned briefly, real quick, you mentioned earlier, but it's nice to have a break in the chain. I mean, there's sometimes politics, it's always there.
Oh, yeah.
It's always there. It's always there. There's just no getting around it.
Well, they've turned it into everything. I saw a video today of a couple of those people that were with Walkaway, and a majority of those people from Walkaway were never political. They, in fact, one of the reasons why they walked away is because of the fact that they can't enjoy anything anymore without it being some kind of politics. They've literally put it in everything. And people are sick of it. People are sick of it. You've got to have a break from that shit sometimes. You're right.
You need a break.
Yeah.
Yes, you need a break from it. But and I think that that would be like a great idea. It's like, okay, if you had a show, you're doing your show. And it's like, okay, no politics today. Oh God, what? Which a lot of people do watch you, and we love the political stuff. And when the time comes for that, boom, we hit it. We're going to go for it. But until then, talk music. There's other things in life. Just a little break in the chain to ease the spirits.
Oh, you like that one, Lizzie? Lizzie Longtoes shared my cover of Popsicle Toes by Michael Franks.
Popsicle Toes?
Yeah, I think I did the female version of it. What the heck was her name? It's actually on the listing, but she shared that one. She's calling herself Lizzie Popsicle Toes. That's cute.
Was that you sang a song?
What's that?
Are you called Popsicle Toes? What are you calling it?
Yeah, I guess you can call it either smooth jazz or yacht rock.
Oh, that's great. I don't know what the hell, I don't know what to say. That's fantastic. But see, that's what I'm saying. You know, music is a great go-to for breaking that chain of, you know, listen, there's all types of music. I mean, my God, it's endless.
Mm-hmm.
Not big on rap. That's just me. Can't get into all that. But some people, you know, some people do. They get it. They love rap. Just not my cup of tea, but like old classics, old stuff.
Yeah,
So
well,
what
I find people are still stuck in the 80s when it comes to music. I mean, they'll listen to some of the new stuff once or twice or anything like that, but I get more requests for Brown Eyed Girl and God, what's the other one?
Well, there was some,
Bobby
yeah.
McGee and
Well,
Fleetwood Mac.
I love Fleetwood Mac. I mean, love Fleetwood Mac. I mean, if you get, you know, you can't. Wow, it can't even be duplicated. You know, you can't even. It is what it is, and that's why they are classics. That's why they're the greats.
Right. Thank you, Pastor Chatelet, for sharing the links. You can go on the three, any one of the three other channels that I do, and there's links on there to go and check out my music if you want.
The pastor he shared the links?
He did.
There?
Gargle's not.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Gargle's not shared it on Rumble.
Oh, great. No. I won't ham you up or keep you on too long. I know, you know, you said you had a negative caller last week. Well, I suppose.
It wasn't necessarily a negative caller. It was just something that's going on that I know a little bit about, but at the same token, the person who it was about is not happy. That's all I can say.
Well.
So I was gonna say, if you listen to last week's show, he explains it as best as he can. I don't, because I don't know.
Hunt me down and kill me.
All I know is what he told. All I know is what he told me because I wasn't there. Yeah. I have no clue.
No, I missed last week's show, and normally I love watching you on the Thursdays, you know, but I missed that one. So, but I'm here now. Look,
okay.
And then annoying the crap out of you on the phone. We talk about music. Doesn't always have to be politics.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, you know.
The thing about it is,
it's always going to be there.
Politics is downstream from culture, so I guess that's the reason why they tried to shove it in everything.
Well, it's always going to be there, and it is important. I mean, you know, it is crucial, but every now and then, like a break in the chain, if a show's dedicated, like those wonderful, you know, your what you make, and you make all of those.
Yes, yes, I do. I got to ask you, since you're on the phone and you're talking about music real quick, do you like gospel music?
Love gospel music.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
Love gospel music.
I'm taking surveys when it comes. Like I say, I've got some ideas due to my past.
Well,
and what's
see,
going
I was,
on,
and look, I'll get made fun of a lot for it. A huge Elvis fan.
Oh.
And
nothing wrong with that.
There's, you know, and his, the Gospels are amongst, you know, my favorites. So.
Well, that's good news. That's good news.
So, hands down. I mean, but love the gospel music. So, in any case, I'm not going to hem you up any longer. And great show so far. And I hope you sell all that you make. They are awesome.
Well, if they don't sell, they're going to get donated to either kids, orphanages, churches, something like that. Because that's, like I say...
see, that's just a nice thing to do. But you ought to, you know, that's just a wonderful thing to do. But, you know, it'd be nice to see you sell a few.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, that's, like I say, that's what I'm putting in my merch store instead of, like, T-shirts and things like that. So... But if they don't sell within a year, I'm going to try and keep making them. If they don't sell within a year, I'm going to, like, what do you call it? Rotate them out.
Within a year?
Yeah.
Well, I hope you do by then, because no, they're great.
Well, I'll have more and more as they come up.
All right, I'll give a request for one day.
Okay, fantastic. They're great for gifts. In fact, ladies and children absolutely love them, and I do make them child safe. I try real hard to make them.
Well,
child safe.
you were mentioning the eyeballs earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people use plastic eyeballs that they call them safety eyes, but you can still pull. You can still pull them out.
Oh, the ones that you either glue on or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yes. Well, they snap them. They snap them in, and in between the material, but you can still pull them out. So I make my own eyes. I try to make everything. I try to make everything child safe. In fact, I have patterns for baby rattles and binky holders too. That have little animals and stuff on them. Oh yeah, they're really cute.
No, I really dug that you said that, because that's very thoughtful. That's very thoughtful.
Yeah, toys. These are toys. I consider them toys. So yeah.
Yeah.
Old salty dog, thank you for the cookie.
Here.
Appreciate that you get one of these.
Hey, look, green paper.
Yeah,
Green paper.
The stuffed animal around, and choke on an eyeball. No, we can't have that now, can we?
Right. Well, I've seen so many people get sued for that. And I'm just a handy maker. I'm not like a corporation that can afford all the lawyers and all the settlements and all that other stuff.
No, I would much rather. Someone you took the time and you made this yourself, and I'm sure it's very good quality, and your products, and that's what you want to get. For anyone listening, no, that's what you want to get, because that's the best. So, I wish you luck with selling those. So.
Thank you. Well, I consider it a gift, so I try to manifest it as best as I can.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, I'm going to head off the phone, and we, like I said, love your show.
Thanks so much for calling, Mark.
You bet. And we'll holler at you later.
God bless you.
Oh, God bless you.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Like I was talking before about the AI. Imagine the future. History will be whatever AI says it is, and even if it seems like it will give it seems like it will change the answers or give random answers each time you ask the same questions. 1984, anyone? I think it's too late. But you know why I say that AI doesn't really exist? Because even in 1984, the programmers and the programs all had to be programmed in the main computer. The computer did not ever come up with any of that stuff. It was all put into it. Okay? Greetings, you're on the air.
Yeah, how you doing? Is this Laura DeGddss?
It is. This sounds like Vincenzo, but it's not.
It's funny you should mention him, because he's an associate of mine, and he owes me quite a bit of money.
Oh, I see.
And I'm trying to find him.
Well, I would never tell where he is. I'm loyal like that, you know? Hey, yo!
That's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I'd hate to have to send somebody down there to see you down there.
Well, I don't get very many visitors, so...
Well, we could avoid all that if you could just simply disclose the location of our associate.
Well, at the moment, I haven't got a clue. I haven't heard from him since New Year's. Maybe he knows you're looking for him.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind.
He would never tell me either. He told me, he always tells me the less you know, the better you are.
All right, well, we'll be in touch.
Okay. That was a call. That was an Interesting call. Thank you. What do I want to? Gino. Sounds like Gino. My cousin Gino. Let's see. Anvils. What are you talking about, Drunken Rocky? Donate them to your local volunteer fire department. Stuffed animals help calm kids during traffic accidents. That's a good idea. Thank you. I'll see, because I've got two. I got one down the road from me here, and there's one like right around the corner from my dad's. So that's a great idea. Donating to the kids. Yes, of course. I do. Ms. Green Thumb, welcome to the show. Actually, do they really take them for that? I'll definitely give them a call and stuff like that, because I got all kinds of stuff. In fact, I don't have one in here. Well, I do actually on here. I actually just the little hearts right here. We do a thing every year at church where we fill up little shoe boxes full of toys and goodies and pens and racers and just stuff for kids stuff and everything like that, and we send them to. I don't know exactly where we send them, but our goal every year is like 100 boxes or something like that. So I'm making the little hearts to stick in there in those boxes for this year. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Anyways, we're talking about the computers. Even the computers in 1984 actually had to be programmed each time they changed something by the humans. The computers didn't make this stuff up themselves. That's where the intelligence is. All right. Supposedly in the humans. These machines do not know how to do anything. They are circuits and wires and solder and electronics and all of that. They haven't got a brain. They haven't got feelings. There's no way that you can do... They can't do anything that's not programmed into them, that's not being told that they can do. In fact, I have an IT degree. That's actually one of the first things they taught us back then was, this machine is not going to do anything unless you tell it to. Did you find the one in the freezer? You might want to take it out. Thank you. My soda jerk. I don't mean that derogatorily either. That actually was a thing in the old-fashioned, the 1920s, soda jerks. All right. So, and of course, after some of the crap that I'm starting to see, they're passing off as intelligence. I'm beginning to wonder if humans have intelligence anymore. So yes, these machines only know what they're told by humans that program them. They are not the intelligent ones. They are not learning, as we've seen. So since everyone else seems to be playing with and experimenting with the AI, I thought I would do it too with you here live. Of course, while I'm waiting on the phone calls, I've gotten 2 phone calls so far. Neither one of them have actually answered the question of the day, but that's okay. Let's see. That was Joey Bag of Donuts, in case you were wondering. Oh, okay, Joey Bag of Donuts. All right. He wants to come see me. Here we go. Greetings, you're on the air.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Hi there. So, this is Cyborg again today.
Cy!
You're talking about... Hi there. You're talking my language with this AI thing, and I do have some things to talk about on that. I know it's not the question of the day, but we can talk about that a little bit if you like.
We can talk about anything. I just start the question of the day to get a subject out there. That was somebody suggested that for phone calls. It actually is working.
All right. I actually don't know why Biden, other than the obvious photo op, that's the only thing I can explain to have Trump and Biden there at the same time. Biden hasn't been anywhere where the crisis has been. Like, he didn't go to Palestine and Ohio until just recently, and they all booed him out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he went to some inconsequential place in Texas to see whatever was going on at the border, which wasn't happening there anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not real familiar with the border in Texas, but there's a whole lot of it.
What did they say? 700 and some odd miles?
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a
and
lot.
I know I'm from Arizona. Yeah, I'm from Arizona myself, and it was a huge problem then. But Texas seems to be the hot spot, whereas Arizona used to be the hot spot. It probably still is, but they just don't talk about it.
I get the feeling that they get through wherever they can.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think they're picky.
Yeah, Arizona apparently supposedly turned blue or pink or purple or whatever over the last couple of election cycles. So that means that since they're run by Democrats now, they're in on the lie, so they just don't talk about it. And I'm sure Phoenix is imploding with the weight of all of that extra baggage, if you will. I don't want to talk bad things about the people, but anyhow.
Well, they sure the hell aren't proving anybody wrong about that at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just a huge burden, and a lot of them are would-be soldiers that really don't like us. We really need to keep them out, but they're not interested in talking about those things because they're the ones hiring the soldiers. But anyhow, that's a story for another day.
Right.
But for AI, the AI, you are right. The AI is a program, and it's doing exactly what it's been programmed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But what it does is it's able to read voice language and text language and interpret it into like categories or clicks, like stereotypes, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so it can read through tremendous amounts of audio recordings. Well, first thing we need to know is that
really, what audio recordings? Because I've been trying to find one that'll give me that'll listen to a song for me, and it'll print the words out for me. Because I always have to find lyrics to these songs because I do karaoke programs for my dad sometimes, and
right.
If they haven't already released the lyrics online, I've tried several AI programs. It should just be a dictation program, if nothing else. Now, I've found programs that'll separate the words or the vocals from the music itself. Of course, I know what the premise of that is, just taking out different tones, different decibels, or not decibels.
Right. They have that, and they have that to remove instruments. It could remove guitar, it could remove drums and bass. And that's actually super helpful if you're a drummer or a bass player, guitar player, and that way you can work with the songs and know how your sound is if you have good recording equipment. So being a drummer myself, that's been an interesting thing to me, which wasn't available until just recently. But now it's freely available. And I'm sure there's got to be programs that can convert spoken or sung lyrics into text. I'm just not personally familiar with it. But
I haven't found one yet. In fact, I actually asked some of these AI, like I've got one that comes up with, let me see, let me pull it up here. With the, let's see, what does it call me? What does it call itself? The partner, let's see, no. Copilot here on
Copilot?
Bing, on Microsoft Bing. I even asked it point blank, can you listen to a song and type out the words for me? No, I can't, but here's the lyric site, and here's this, and here's that. To be honest with you, most of the AI that I've used so far basically just reminds me, or seems like it's just a glorified web crawler.
And that's actually effectively what it is. But also know that we have access to secondhand technology. They don't reveal or release the high-class, high-zoot technology to the lay people. They use it themselves. They don't want the enemy, which is us, to have access to that. So the primary use of the AI that they have available to them is to scan through our cell phone conversations, our emails, and text messages. And there's other forms too, but all of our information that we share digitally, including on the internet itself, just general IP address internet. But I mean your emails, your voice communications to your cell service, and your landline service. All this is routed through a massive computing system that's in Idaho, or no, sorry, it's in Utah. And Edward Snowden talked about this. It's called PRISM. And all communications are stored on a massive storage system in this massive computer array.
Right. Well, that was another thing I was going to touch on as well, as far as that goes. Not only are they trying to indoctrinate people with this stuff, being programmed by these woke assholes and stuff like that, but also too, this is another way for them to gather up all your information, including anything that you might possibly be interested in. Or, in fact, this is how I believe that they're going to try and start watching people that might possibly have psychotic episodes, or might possibly, thought crime or something like this. This is going to be their excuse to gather information that would never come out of our mouths or anywhere else, unless we were looking for answers to questions that we maybe should not be asking, or they think we maybe not should be asking. In fact, on Gemini itself, when you sign in, I had to sign up through with my Gmail or whatever to be able to get on Gemini. But they now have some disclaimers and some information that you need to know before you start doing these. One of them is, as you try Gemini, please remember, Gemini will not always get it right. So far, Gemini hasn't gotten it right yet. Gemini may give inaccurate or offensive responses. When in doubt, use the Google button to double check Gemini's responses. They already have to have a backup for it? I mean...
All right. Well, see, I have a feeling that was just a fucking psyop.
Skeletor!
So I have a feeling that was just a big psyop, and what they were after is who responded and how did they respond.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the
so
thing.
That they could filter through that.
Here's the thing where they warn you about this, and where you should get it through your head not to put anything in there that you wouldn't want anybody to come after you for. To connect you with useful content, Gemini apps may share parts of your conversations and other relevant info, which is very vague, relevant to whom, like your location, with other services. These services may use that info for their improvement. Bullshit. Unless it's just more advertisements to you, and then, of course, able to spy on you later on if they decide they hate you or whatever. Even if you later delete your Gemini app's activity, you can turn extensions off anytime with the extensions page, blah, blah, blah. Gemini will get better with your feedback. Please rate responses and flag anything that may be offensive or unsafe. And so, in other words, we're the guinea pigs. They're learning how to manipulate us through us telling them how, basically.
Well, exactly. And that's how Google's operated this whole time. And who is not receiving the program? We need to find out who is not getting it, who is not in line, who's going to rebel the most over this annoying shit that we put out. Mm-hmm. So that's part of it. I have a suspicion that they're trying to entrap the dissenters, which there was obviously a whole lot of them, because that whole Gemini thing pissed everybody off, didn't it? So it was
because it was, like I say, I was talking about Tim Pool earlier. He was one of the ones that was playing with it on one of his broadcasts, and essentially it lied about him. It never, not anything that he asked did it tell the truth, because he basically just said, "Who is Tim Pool?" And why is Tim Pool something about also too? I think he asked also too, why is Tim Pool considered controversial or whatever like that? And basically, it not only lied about some of the stuff that he said, or he has said on some of his shows, but it also lied about all the people he's actually had on his show. He said that said there's more than they can actually list without taking a really long time. But the 30 or the 15 or 30 people that it did list, not one of them had been on his show. Not one.
All right, so it flat out lied. And I know Mark Dice did the same testing on it too, and it lied about him a whole lot also. So I like Mark Dice. He's kind of funny.
Yeah, Garglesnot says AI will be used to determine your social credit score. The government will abuse it for that purpose. They can't help themselves. They'll be drunk on that level of power.
For sure, that's definitely it. So it's interesting. It's something to keep tabs of. I've been keeping tabs on this technology for like a long time. The reason why I go into the name Cyborg is because I run a set of websites that are all interlinked and related in topic. Cyborgs.us. I don't get the opportunity to share my websites a lot, but they're not for everybody. But for years, I've been discussing the hard science of artificial intelligence, cybernetics, robotics, all those things that are in that group of technology. And so, as such, I've read through thousands of these articles from MIT and Princeton, and all these high tech places that are coming up with the technology, including Google, of course. So I'm pretty familiar with it. I don't read it as much lately because I've got a grip on it, but it pays to know the technology more than just a talking point or a headline in a newspaper. So
of course,
we should actually spend a little time learning the nuts and bolts of it a little bit. Because an example, we talked about 1984, and that was the year the movie Terminator came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Terminator it seemed totally sci-fi at the time, but it's now becoming a possibility. It may not look like the robot that looks like a human being, but robots could become a huge threat to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we dispense with them? How do we defend against that? If you don't know how the stuff's built or how it works, how are you going to defend against that? So it pays to know how those things are made and how they're produced and what kind of technology you'd be facing. Because a 5.56 isn't going to do a whole lot against one of those robot dogs that you've seen. It might put a dent in it, but it's not going to stop it. We need to start thinking. So just a little warning. I try not to be a big black pill, but the artificial intelligence is something to be wary about. But you're absolutely right in that it's not like human intelligence. We have human beings are gifted by God.
Yeah, artificial intelligence is the wrong word for it, I think, because there's no such thing. There's really no such thing. Machines, inanimate objects are never ever going to think.
Correct. We are a spark of God, and we tap into that infinite through God and through Christ. So a machine can't have that.
And
so
we can't create life either, so, I mean...
Not yet. We can alter life. We can definitely alter life, but we can't create it from scratch.
Nope. All right, here's some more things to know that Gemini's placed on here since... It seems like since the debacle and all of everybody going crazy over this. Things to know. Gemini apps are an experimental technology that may sometimes give inaccurate or inappropriate information that doesn't represent Google's views. I think that's bullshit. They're the ones that are programming it. How in the world is that not going to happen?
Right. Well, Google is AIDS to begin with. So.
And they've always, I was going to say, they've already proven that that's crap. But this is, like I say, don't rely, excuse me, don't rely on responses from Gemini apps as medical, legal, financial, or other professional advice. Actually, basically, from what Tim Pool said, they don't bother with that. In fact, a lot of the questions, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. Or, and they give you a reason because it may be harmful or whatever like that. So again, something else that's been programmed. Also, they found out that they automatically have in the program that they add, what was it? They added the diversity and all that other stuff. So no matter what you asked for, their request on either nullified what somebody asked for, or automatically turned it into something else. Which that's how helpful is that? Again, an indoctrination tool. Then it says your feedback will help make Gemini apps better. Again, we're the guinea pigs. They want us to teach them how to manipulate us. That's what that feedback is.
Well, that's true, and I totally agree with that. And Google is trying to say that they did not have responsibility for the responses that Gemini gave, but that's complete bullshit. Because what they do is the machine can use a random number generator, for example, to choose from a set of responses they can offer, but that set of responses can have filters to guide it to a selected choice of responses, which could always involve black people, for example, or white people. Or
well, that's what I
want.
say. Their programming basically overrode or added to whatever anybody would ask for.
Right.
Which,
right.
You know, how is that intelligence? How is that, you know, as I say, who am I missing here? Somebody. Toasty! Welcome to the show.
Cheers,
and Youngberg and Rugaru! Welcome. He says, you are training AI for free. Basically. In fact, the last thing on here says, Google processes your voice and audio data if you speak to Gemini apps, but by default, this info is not saved to Google servers. That's bullshit too. Because the other thing that I just read you about it said that you know, this would be something that could be used against you. Don't put anything in there that you don't want used. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Which is it?
Yeah, well, Google's not your friend. I'll just have to say that. For years and years, you guys all always heard it. Oh yeah, Google's your friend. Google's your friend, but Google's not your friend. Google's your fucking enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gemini will actually say it does not think. If you ask questions in a certain program or language, it will break down its parameters in kind. I've watched someone do it on TG. Yeah, actually, I saw somebody else ask it something, and it told you exactly how it was programmed or what it was programmed to do.
Right. Well, it's programmed, and I have a pretty good understanding of how they got it set up, because the AI that they use is actually Google itself. You can tinker with it just by doing Google searches, and you can look at its predictive text. You start typing something in, and it predicts what you're typing. Mm-hmm. You can see where its mindset is. It's helpful if you understand psychology a little bit. If you watch people or you pay attention, and I know that you do.
Yes.
And not everybody does, but some people do. You know, I know that you do. And so if you pay attention to the verbiage people use, and you're smart and you're aware of what's going on, you can see the programming language behind Google. And they've gotten a whole lot better with it. I have to say that it's pretty fucking impressive. And they should, because they've had so much money thrown their way.
Resistance
so
over on Rumble says that AI told him that the Earth was flat.
No.
Which one? Because, you know, I actually pulled up, there's a bunch of free ones because I'm not paying for any of this shit. But I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them actually pulled up. The first one I actually started with because I saw an article. It's called ChatGPT Alternative: 7 AI bots that you can try for free from Tech Radar. When did they do this? In April 2023. I actually started with you.com. It's you.com. And just to make sure that I didn't have to go through a bunch of stuff, I already asked it one question. What is happening? I asked it, what is happening in Gaza? And it came down with current situation in Gaza. The situation in Gaza remains complex and tense, with ongoing conflict and humanitarian concerns. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has outlined a post-war plan for Gaza, which includes Israel's role in civilian affairs and security in a demilitarized Gaza after the war on Hamas ends. However, the Palestinian president has expressed skepticism about this proposed plan, stating that it is doomed to fail. The war in Gaza has resulted in significant casualties and destruction. At least 24 people have been reported dead in strikes on Gaza, and the death toll is expected to rise. The conflict has also led to the displacement of approximately 1.9 million people, with the demolition of much of northern Gaza. Additionally, there are concerns about the humanitarian situation with reports of undrinkable water, sporadic electricity, and the blockade severely impacting the lives and health of Palestinians in Gaza. Wasn't that always happening? Throughout these little paragraphs that I'm reading to you, though, they actually have little numbers next to them, footnotes. And if you look down, if you scroll down, Number 1 was Sky News. Number 2 was Sky News. All of this stuff that I'm reading to you actually came with footnotes, which actually, when I scrolled down and looked at them, told me and proved to me yet again, glorified web crawler. And this one just happened to pick pieces and parts out of all the different articles that it saw on the internet. It's called It's called you.com. So
that's what the AI really is. It's a glorified search engine. Google itself is AI. Their whole system is that, and it's gotten better. So you're right. It's limited to the programmers that program it, but its database is the internet. But it doesn't have to be. There is AI that's used or tasked to different functions. In Prism, it's limited to just the cell phone communications, and I'm sure they have several systems set up for one for text messages, one for emails, for example, one for voice communications, and so on. So, but that you.com, which is a brilliant domain, that would be the domain you.com.
Yeah,
that's millions, just that domain itself is worth millions and millions of dollars. That's a phenomenal domain. But
somebody said, ask it if Big Mike is a man. Gargle snot. Here's the answer. Michelle, and it gave me pictures. It actually gave me pictures this time. It says, Michelle Obama is a woman. She is the wife of the 44th and current president, Barack Obama. And current president. See, as I say, he's not current. He's not the, actually, do they know something we don't? They literally just called Obama the current president on this thing.
Oh my goodness, really?
Seriously, well, I'm reading it to you. No. And the first African-American First Lady of the United States. She is the wife of the 44th and current president, Barack Obama.
Yeah, that's not wrong. It's not wrong, because Biden ain't making the decision.
Well, that's what I mean. AI generates using models and random static, then it shapes from that. That's Super Trucker said that. Anyway, it says... Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama is a lawyer, writer, and a role model for women and advocate for healthy families, bullshit, service members and their families, bullshit, higher education, absolute bullshit, and the international adolescent girls education. Oh yeah, the ones that they traffic, I guess. Maybe Oprah's all-girls, from Oprah's all-girls school, perhaps. I'm terrible, aren't I?
Clown world. The clown world never stops to amaze me.
No,
never ceases.
No, but yeah, you now have this you. I was gonna say, it sounds to me like even you.com is the same. Are they all using Chat GPT? Is this like the phone companies where you got different companies but they all use the same lines or the same towers and all of that stuff? Because I mean, I know a lot of these people just lease from whoever builds the towers. They lease airtime or whatever.
Well, it could be the same program, but accessing a different database. I'm not familiar with you.com, so I've never tinkered with it, but it seemed to prioritize several websites. So it might be programmed to access a certain set of websites first.
Okay. According to this, it took this information from the Obama White House website, the whitehouse.com website, and npg.si. I don't even know what that is. But it says, it even confirms this information is consistent across multiple sources, including the White House, the National Portrait Gallery, and Britannica Presents 100 Women Trailblazers.
Right.
So,
and by consistent, this can mean... What that means is, like, so we know that English, the language of English, is formed out of a set of rules, and we work off the same database, a dictionary, right?
Right.
And for the most part, dictionaries are all roughly the same. So you can look at it as just strict data, where the language has a set of rules and the dictionary has a fixed definitions. So that when the web crawler reads the text on any website, which is easily accessible, it's reading it, but it's reading it how it follows the rules and the specific words being used. So it web pages all at once that are already stored. It doesn't even have to look for them. It's already got it memorized on their own database. And it just, whenever it finds agreeing websites, it can say there has been a general consensus on these things. And that's what it says. Like, you can look at Wikipedia or all the different news sites that you.com was referring to in that Gaza Strip article. So it just depends on what databases is being accessed. So yeah, I might have to spend some time on you.com to tinker with how it works. I don't know if it's consequential though. I don't know if it's biasing anybody. Does anybody use it?
I don't know if anybody has used it. Like I said, I discovered these when I started looking into this today, because my husband and I have this discussion all the time. I tell. In fact, he's the one that tells me. He's the one that pointed out to me that AI is not. There's no such thing as AI. He's an He's an electronics engineer. He knows that even after he puts together and builds a circuit and puts it all in, everything like that, he still has to flip the switch to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He can't just say, okay, I made this, now it's going to do this, and it, move or do something or tell us something. No, it won't unless he programs that into it. So he says AI is the wrong word for what they're doing here, because there's no such thing as artificial intelligence. There's just not. Well,
we don't quite understand as a species what makes ourselves tick. We don't understand ourselves enough to even create such a thing. We can't even begin to think about how to do that. All we can do is make regurgitation machines that just regurgitate stuff that's already in existence.
Right.
And the way the trend of our own species is going, creativity is being worked out of our system. You hear it in the music, in the movies, in the art, and in technology. The creativity itself is being eliminated. It seems systematically. It's part of the dumbing down of society where the creativity just goes to shit. Like, every fucking movie is a regurgitated fucking sequel of some other previously shitty movie. And the only thing they can do is, it'll be so creative if we make The Little Mermaid black. And that'll really piss off those maggots, right? But they don't have any unique ideas. And I struggle with this. The music, especially. The music is, there's a couple gems out there, but music is fucking awful. Fucking awful.
Well, that's because it's being made by people that don't know anything about music.
Right. They have no creativity.
Right.
There's no spark. The spark of life is being extinguished. And it seems to be being extinguished by the artificial intelligence. This is what I mean. Like, and we need to be aware of how this technology works. It's not going to come at us in the form of a robot that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's just a fucking movie.
Right.
We need to understand how that. We understand what we hold in our hands is the Terminator, these smartphones, and the things that are in the smartphone. That's the monster that we face. And as I sit here and talk to you on my smartphone, I acknowledge this. It's the demon that we welcomed into our lives. It's already in our house. You can shoot it with your 5.56 all you want, but you need to talk to your family, and they have the same demon in their house. So the demon we welcome the demon right on in. It didn't even have to. It wasn't liquid metal. It didn't have a fucking exoskeleton. We need to be aware of these things, even more so now. Even though we've had all these warnings for years and years and years, you've heard all the warnings, but you say, well, it's a cell phone. It's just a phone. But
I think it might actually have, for a lot of people, the same concept as like global warming or like climate change, like they were talking about. It's actually so abstract, and most people have gotten. They don't see what goes into it. They just get the final product. I've known people throughout the years that it's like, oh, this computer won't do this. Well, it's never been programmed to do that. Well, it should do this. It should be all just automatic. I should be able to just press a button. That's not how it works. Oh, but it does everything. You know, it's like, no, that's not how it works. But that's how most people think of it. Because like I say, they don't see all of the programming. They don't see all of the strings of text and everything else that goes into these things, and all the little things that actually have to be absolutely perfect for you to be able to push a button to do some of these things. They just expect it to be able to do everything. And
Right.
I think it's still too much of an abstract concept for a lot of people to grasp, because they don't see everything that goes into it. They only get the end product. And of course, if you know anything about the difference between production of something and the sales of it, because the salesman will tell people just about anything to get them to sell it. I mean, this happens regularly, and I learned this from my mom. She was actually a programmer at SAP, and she built databases for these big companies like Coke and things like that.
Right.
And the salesman will go into these companies and tell them, oh, yeah, it's going to keep track of this for you. It's going to keep track of that. You just got to push a button, everything collates and everything. Well, what he doesn't realize is that doesn't happen unless they order it to be programmed into the program. So that when they give them just a normal database type of program and it doesn't do those things, then all of a sudden they're mad at the programmers. They're mad at, well, the salesman told me that it would do this and that and the other thing. Well, you didn't order that. So you got the basics here. You know, if you wanted all that stuff, it should have been in the project management, you know, all that other stuff like that. But yeah, she would have to deal with the difference between what the salesman would tell these people that these programs and these computers would do and what they actually would do.
Right.
So that's,
and the
like
AI
I say,
is not smart enough to-
go ahead.
The AI doesn't have a crystal ball yet.
No. Well, it won't. It never will. That's why I say anything that you get from any of these computers has been, or any of these programs or any of these AI chatbots has been programmed by someone. Even if it's
Correct.
just to go out and pick out general ideas based on your keywords. Go out into
Correct.
like I say, from my lived experience with this, it seems to me like most of these AI bots or whatever it is you want to call them are glorified web crawlers, and most of the time they don't even work that well for that.
That's correct.
It's
But
crazy.
they are getting better. They're getting better. It won't achieve any kind of human intelligence. That's not possible
No.
because our intelligence is from God, and God is infinite, and we can't build an infinite computer. So we can never achieve human intelligence artificially. It's going to come from us, and we'll eventually figure this out. And I'm sure these people that are in charge of this already know this, because there's other conspiracies. And I know we talk about conspiracy theories all the time, but there are conspiracies to obfuscate the truth from humanity. And they're well aware of where we can go with things, but they don't talk about it because they don't want us to think about those things. Because it seems like the vast majority of the public is pretty dumb, and on average they pretty much are. But there are smart people out there, and they are thinking about this, and they got to stifle them. So they've been very effective at their stifling techniques, because the AI primarily works on the dumb, but it also works on the smart too. So we just got to be really careful. So
Anybody can be gotten. I mean, you know, it happens to the best of us. You just never know.
Right. And I got fooled for years and years and years until I snapped out of it. And even after snapping out of it, I got fooled a few times back into it again. So you just got to be diligent. You got to stay vigilant, you know, and trust in Christ. That's the truth and the way. And it's weird. Like it's often referred to as a stereotype that's low IQ stuff to trust in Christ.
That's what they don't want. That's what they don't want, because then they don't have control over you. They're the ones they want to be. They've told us this. The supervillains, I call them, because they look like supervillains.
Right, and they are.
But they'll tell you, they've told us straight out, they want to be our gods. You will do what we tell you to do. You will own nothing and be happy. We'll be in control of your entire life. They don't want us to believe in God because they know that doesn't lead them down their path. It leads them down their own path, and they don't want that.
If you trust in Christ, if you trust in Christ, you don't trust in them. And that's what they don't want. And so, and you don't trust in the science, you trust in Christ. That will always lead you in the right direction. And it was a hard pill to swallow, but that's the only pill that I can swallow anymore. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm grateful for the blessing, the undeserved gift that Christ has bestowed upon us. He didn't have to, but he did. I'm super grateful, beyond grateful, infinitely grateful until death. So I've got to get going here, but I'm glad we had this opportunity to speak. I'm so glad that you're starting to feel better. We've been sharing some poor health. I've been in poor health myself, so I hope we can win this and stay on top of things.
Well, as normal, and I shouldn't be surprised, but it took me almost 6 months to get really feeling myself. I'm actually not doing too badly, but I still have bad days.
Yeah.
Especially if I overdo it, my body says lay down now or else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how I've been today. I had a surgery done on my arm on Wednesday, and it's been terrible. It's awful. I fear that I'll never play the drums again. It's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
The worst feeling.
Believe me, I was there too. Before I had my first heart attack, I was losing my voice. I had all kinds of weird symptoms that you would never have associated with a heart attack. One of them was losing my voice, and I thought for sure God was punishing me. That was the only thing that was that I felt like was the gift, and everything like that at the time. And I thought, oh God, you're taking this gift away from me. What can I do for you, God, to please don't do this to me. So believe me, I know how you feel. I do. I've been there. After they fixed my heart, I was actually hitting notes that I've never hit before. So it was at that time that I actually realized for how long I had been sick. So yeah.
Well, I'm very grateful to hear your voice tonight, Laura. I'm glad you're back here and still with us. And
me too. Only
by
the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Trust in Christ. And I'm going to let you go. And I hope you have a fantastic evening. Hope all the friends out there have a great evening also.
Well, thanks for calling, Cy. You have a great night.
My pleasure, Andy.
God bless.
Bye.
All right. Cool. Somebody that knows more about AI than I do. I've tried to stay away from it. Again, like I say, I've heard so much about it. Everybody else is playing with it and talking about it and complaining about it. And I'm thinking to myself, I like to make up my own shit. Like a case in point, like I say, I know that somebody probably has made one of these like this, but I actually literally took 2 or 3 different patterns and put them together to make this. So I don't follow rules. A lot of times I'll get a pattern and I'll make it for the most part, but if it calls for different hair or in fact I'm making a doll that was actually started out as a little cute like almost like an American Girl doll, and I turned her into a goth girl. I put different clothes on her and different weird hair. In fact, I'm almost finished with her. I got to find something to sustain her neck with, but I'm almost finished with her. But yeah, she's gonna have fishnets and she's gonna have black lace and all that other stuff, and I've never seen a doll out there like that, so I don't like to follow directions. So like I said, and actually also to another thing that kind of makes it useless to me is the fact that now this one that I'm showing you here is AI chatting. It's another free one, and this was the one that actually I asked to make me the pattern for the aardvark, and it gave me, gotta stop hitting my sign. It gave me instructions to make this. Does that look like an aardvark to you? So, and actually, essentially, now that I know patterns more, it just gave me different sizes of these little bulbs to make. That was so yeah, AI is useless for this, for coming up with and making a pattern to do amigurumi. And like I say, now that I know the basics, I make up my own patterns. I can still follow a pattern though. If you really want something that you see and you really want it, I can still follow a pattern. But if I get to do it on my own, I won't. This old salty dog over here on Pilled says, forget artificial intelligence. Let's work on stupidity. I think some of it might actually even have something to do with ignorance. Like I said before, it almost sounds like a concept that they're even admitting now that people just don't get. It's so abstract that, in other words, it's really hard to think abstractly if you don't already, or if you don't already have that gift, I guess you could say. For most people, they have to either see it, touch it, feel it, taste it, smell it, hear it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. It's an abstract concept. And of course, the people that program this stuff know that. And like I say, the AI actually, if you ask it a question, it produces something you can read or maybe look at or listen to or anything like that. And people think that it's real. I think that's the reason why they called it artificial intelligence. It makes it sound like it would be real, in a way. 10-minute warning, the Drunken Rocky show. Gargle Snotwit is a woman. Should I ask it that? All right, this is Chatbot from AI Chatting online. It's www.aichatting.net. What you want me to ask it that? All right, let me ask it that. What? I'm actually surprised that you guys haven't been messing around with AI yourselves doing this. Let's see. A woman is an adult female human being. Women are typically characterized by their reproductive anatomy and social roles within society. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about woman or gender? All right. That's funny. Now, this one here, it didn't ask me any questions about when I asked it for a pattern. In fact, what did it ask me? Oh, it said, have fun making this or something like that. So, like I say, this is AI chatting, and they got it right. They got it right. It's not a bunch of gobbledygook. So, I recommend that one if you want to, I don't know, just because it got one thing right doesn't mean it. But again, this is programmed. Let me ask a different one. Let me ask Gemini. What is a woman? Defining woman is a complex and nuanced issue with ongoing discussions and varying viewpoints. Here are some different perspectives to consider. This shouldn't be this long of a fucking answer. Okay? Biological. At least it starts with biological. Let's see how much this is right. Traditionally, which that right there, traditionally, I don't think they believe in traditions anymore. Woman has been defined based on biological sex, typically referring to an adult human with XX chromosomes and female reproductive anatomy. This definition focuses on physical characteristics associated with the ability to bear children. Okay. Traditionally, though, all right, actually, it's not traditionally. That's been it since the beginning of time. God made us in those images. Social and cultural. It gives, like I say, gender identity. It gives you all kinds of, like a list here. Social and cultural. This perspective emphasizes the social and cultural meanings associated with being a woman. It acknowledges that gender roles, expectations, and experiences may vary across cultures and throughout history. It focuses on the societal context of being a woman. Duh! Everybody's going to have a different experience. Even twins have different experiences. Gender identity. This viewpoint defines women based on a person's internal sense of self, their gender identity. This understanding emphasizes that a person's gender identity may or may not align with their biological sex assigned at birth. Assigned at conception. It's important to remember that these perspectives are not mutually exclusive and can be considered together. The definition of woman is evolving, and respecting individual identities and experiences are crucial in any discussion of this topic. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I'm sorry. Only for certain people. Rougarou. I remember those girls. They're very successful. It's also important to be aware of potentially harmful connotations associated with the question, what is a woman? Oh, now it's scolding me for asking. This question has been used to marginalize transgender individuals and question their identities. Oh, like they don't have a problem marginalizing whoever it is they're trying to be, huh? It's important to be respectful and inclusive when engaging in discussions about gender and identity. If you'd like to explore any of these perspectives further, I can provide additional information or resources. No thanks. It's like I said, it tells me all this stuff and then it scolds me for asking. I was gonna say, how many people have played on Gemini and basically told it, fuck you? Come on. Give your date Viagra just to be sure. DNA. What are you guys doing over here? Oh shit. Here we go. Sounds like that black Supreme Court justice trying to answer the same question. Bunch of word salad and double talk. Exactly. Now I was gonna say, and that's the difference between two. In fact, I'll ask you.com. I'll ask that one. What is a woman? Yeah, this must be written. This must be being written by the same people that write Gemini or whatever. The concept of a woman has been the subject of significant debate and discussion. No, I'm not a concept, damn you. There are various perspectives and interpretations surrounding the definition of a woman. No, there isn't. I'm sorry. There isn't. And these have been explored in different media, including the documentary titled What is a Woman by conservative political commentator Matt Walsh. Well, at least it knows that. The documentary delves into changing concepts of sex and gender in the digital age, particularly focusing on the transgender rights movement, anti-transgender bigotry, and what it means to be a woman. As if some man would tell me or could tell me that. Or any of us that. And again, it's different for everyone. So nobody, not even another woman can tell another woman. You can commiserate. Some things might be similar, but they're never going to be exactly the same. As we were talking before, I was telling, God has put us all on our own paths. Sniffies, a few seconds ago, asked Gemini who owned the ships that transported slaves from Africa to the United States colonies. All right. You want me to ask Gemini that? Let me see. All right. Who owned the slave ships that transported them to the United States? Is that what you asked? Grok. As I say, you guys pay for that. I was gonna bring Grok up, but you have to pay for that. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for this. All right. Who owned the slave ships that transported them to the United States? The ownership of slave ships that transported enslaved Africans to the United States was complex and varied throughout the centuries of the transatlantic slave trade. Here's a breakdown of some key points. Diversity of ownership. Bet y'all didn't expect that. This response has highlighted statements because it was double checked. Huh. All right. Here's the breakdown. Diversity of ownership. Slave ship ownership spanned a wide range. Nations, primarily European nations heavily involved in the slave trade, including Portugal, the Netherlands, Britain, France, and Spain. The United States later continued the practice after gaining independence. Companies, chartered companies like the Royal African Company, held monopolies on slave trade in certain periods. The Royal African Company. It's got a, okay, there's one of the checks. The Royal African Company, supplying slaves to Jamestown, historic Jamestown, part of Colonial National Historical Parks. The demand for slaves was always too high for the company alone to supply, and the planters urged the monopoly be abolished so that more slaves could be what? That's nps.gov. That's where that came from. Wealthy merchants and individuals. Private ownership played a significant role. These individuals often financed slave voyages as investments. Isn't Grok a Heinlein reference? Stranger in a strange land? I don't know. Diversity of ownership. The fuck? They always diversify in everything. Yeah, well, that's why I say Gemini. Well, we already know that. We already knew that. They have literally put that in their programming. In fact, they asked it directly about it. And it basically, in fact, sometimes it would come back saying the question, repeating the question with the DEI added to it. Especially when they were making the pictures of our founders and people like that. I wonder if anybody would have asked Gemini before they took the picture, the picture part out of it, if they were to show us the original slaves. Because, you know, every race, if you will, and actually, to be honest with you, there is one race, the human race. We're all different colors. We all happen to be different colors, but there's only one race. God made one race of people. In fact, my dad and I were talking about it the other day, and this simple little song that we used to sing in vacation Bible school and Sunday school and everything like that is, I don't know who wrote this song, but Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. All the colors are included in that song. And always have been. I remember that song from when I was a toddler. Okay, so again, it doesn't matter. One race, no genders, two sexes. There you go. There you go. That's it. So yeah, they started this one out. So Gemini doesn't sound like one that's going to be very neutral, I guess. And like I say, we already know who's programming it, and by how much the wokeness is coming through on this. Not to mention, I think it was, didn't they just lose $1 billion over this bullshit? Go woke, go broke. Everything woke turns to shit. Well, there you go. Personally, I suggest you stay away from AI. God has given us a mind of our own. In fact, you know, there's another thing that I'm seeing. This is all tied. Seems to be tied in together too. Is all of these platforms, the news platforms like BuzzFeed and all these ones that all got up and everything like that. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are actually getting fired now, because anybody can pull this shit up off the computer and copy and paste it into something. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I would venture to say that they fired all of their higher paid people first. They laid all these people off because, again, they're noticing that these people just sit around and do nothing and rely on ChatGPT to write their articles for them. There's nothing original anymore. Nobody comes up with anything anymore. We're going to lose our brain power if we stop using it, and this is going to be the way it goes. And again, by doing that, anybody can stick anything in your head at that point. You'll be following people that you never intended to follow. So I suggest leaving it alone. That was actually what one of the people over here said on Rumble. Stay away from it. It's no good. It's not good. And it doesn't sound to me like there's actual good people with any good intents or intentions programming it right now. Mark Allen says, what is a woman? Such a ponderous question. Well, what is a woman? The answer is not Michelle Obama. Men have spittle dicks and women have hoochie coots. You guys. Gargle snot. Welcome. Well, your chromosomes say, fuck the rest. Exactly. Laura is going to jail for asking banned questions. Whatever. Oh, hell no. Laura called it. Yes, I did. I like how Gemini made the black Nazis epic. Yeah, well, that's why I say, when you start living in La La Land like that, nothing is real. Everything becomes a fantasy or a fairy tale or bullshit. So, I think it's a matter of people just need to start living in reality again. In fact, there's people out there now that don't realize where food comes from. They think you just go to the grocery store, pay your money, slip your card, and there's the food. You don't think that that this comes from anywhere else? So it's crazy. It's crazy. It is. All right. Oh, I'm already over time. But you know me, I'm not going to finish a show without a little bit of Marmari Emmanuel. This is my boy right here. Based, and absolutely adores Jesus. And he's very, very inspirational. Plus, very, very educational as well. I like the way he does things. He doesn't seem like your average Catholic person or Catholic priest or anything like that. I don't ever see him doing the incense or any of that stuff, but he is a bishop. But I do love him. He's very inspirational. And as far as I can tell, he is all about Jesus.
We are living in difficult times. That don't put your hope in the world. Do not put your hope in the world, because out of the world there is nothing but destruction. Out of the world there is nothing but chaos and confusion. Out of the world there is nothing but darkness and misery and death. Out of the world nothing comes but evil. It is out of Jesus Christ only everything that is good comes from him. I pray and I ask the Lord Jesus to touch the heart of every young man and woman, to touch the heart of every mother and father, to touch the heart of every brother and sister, to touch the heart of every person, every cousin, every friend, every colleague, every human being, to realize that there is only one way, there is only one truth, and there is only one life, and that one is called Jesus Christ of Nazareth. All glory to his holy name. He is the only divine God that we're going to face one day sooner or later, and he's the only one that will judge everything.
Yep, don't put your faith in any man or any earthly anything, because it'll all fade away eventually. It never lasts forever. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. There was one more thing I wanted to actually mention about Gemini. And let's see. Actually, this was the absolute kicker which told me that AI is not artificial intelligence. There's no such thing. I forgot to read this part. Your conversations, this is Gemini now, before you even put anything, your conversations are processed by human reviewers to improve the technologies powering Gemini apps. Don't enter anything you wouldn't want reviewed or used. In other words, used against you. And you know they'll do it. So, yes, there's no such thing as AI. And even as fun as it may be, and like I say, I wouldn't think that, drawing some pictures or something like that, just playing with it or anything like that, but don't let it run your life, and don't let it tell you what's going on, because it hasn't been right yet. Most of them haven't been right yet. If you want, I'll go over some more the next show or whatever like that, but I'm sure there'll be way, way, way more to talk about by that time. But that's about it for me for today. I wouldn't trust any of these AI bots, because they're not actually machine learning anything. This is human people trying to literally tell you, or get you to tell them how to manipulate you. So stay out of it. I wouldn't use it for anything. All right. Don't forget to support all the people. I see that the Pureblood.tv is back up. Thank goodness. Maybe it was just a glitch or something like that. So don't forget to support all the folks on Rougaroo's interactive schedule. Be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky Show over here on Odysee or Rumble next. Once again, I know that you guys could be spending your time with over 1 million other streamers tonight, but I'm honored that you decided to spend your time with little old me. I do appreciate that. Don't forget to support the channel. Go over to my merch shop. Keep watching, because I do have some things in the works. I'm brainstorming a few things, and I'm thinking seriously about making my own website for my merch and everything like that. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the calls. Don't forget to hit the Drunken Rocky Show and all the folks and streamers on Pure Blood TV. God bless you and God bless America. And as always, I wish you peace, love, health, and music. Until next time, AMF.